So at this time, that concludes the allotted time for public comment on this item. I know there are a lot of folks wanted to speak, so sorry that the time limit ran out. Per the direction of President Sanchez, we do have a group of affinity groups who came together to write a letter that they'd like to read to the board right now, and we're going to allow 5 minutes for that. I'm going to lower everyone's hands, and whomever is on here to read the letter for those affinity groups, please re-raise your hand, and then I will unmute you all, and then you can go ahead. Okay, thank you. The moment. Can't seem to find everyone, but Miss Marshall, are you there? Miss Marshall? Hello, Miss Marshall? Let's see. Hello, Gerald?
Just a second, I'm here. I can hear you.
Great. I believe I gave Gerald permission to speak as well, and then I will start unmuting the others.
Great. Thank you. Good afternoon. To President Sanchez, Vice President Lopez, Board Commissioners, Superintendent Matthews, our beloved Esther, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Virginia P. Marshall, President of the San Francisco Alliance of Black School Educators. On this historic Making Day, I'm honored and pleased to be joined by my colleagues in the various affinity groups to read a statement on Black Lives Matter. Before I go to the statement, I just want to share this poem. May our Black boys and men be happy and peaceful. May our Black boys and men feel healthy and strong. May our Black boys and men feel safe and protected. May our Black boys and men be safe and protected. May our Black boys and men be safe and protected. May our Black boys and men live with ease by Black Yoga. This poem was shared with us at one of our affinity group meetings yesterday by our colleague Letitia Irving, and Letitia added this last line: may we serve in a manner that makes it a reality, make this a reality. Hashtag just Janice Young. And Janice Young, unfortunately, was our 6-year-old student from Malcolm X who was tragically killed on the 4th of July by a stray bullet. From Emmett Till to Oscar Grant, to George Floyd, to Janice Young and beyond, we hope that that was the last death, but we know that unfortunately it may not be. To this end, our various affinity groups have been meeting over the summer. We have a joint statement on Black Lives Matter. Once each of us will, they will say their name and which organization they represent. There are about 6 affinity groups who will read the statement, and we expect others to join down the line. July 14, 2020. In the summer of 2020, as we are in the midst of COVID-19, which has taken so many lives, the Black Lives Matter movement is providing leadership on the world stage for justice, equity, health, education, and prosperity, especially when it comes to Black and Brown citizens. We join together to emphasize our unity at this time of crisis and opportunity. President Barack Obama said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change we seek. I pass the mic now to my colleague.
To this end, the educator affinity groups, the San Francisco Alliance of Black School Educators, KABA, BAYAN, SFUSD, the Association of Chinese Teachers, Latin American Teacher Association, SFUSD Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islanders, and the San Francisco Association for Bilingual Education have made the giant leap to join forces to implement and support the Black Lives Matter movement by combating anti-Blackness throughout the San Francisco Unified School District, in the classroom, for educators and families. We believe education is key to ending ignorance and hate. As educators, we have a responsibility to our students and families to dismantle anti-Blackness by bringing awareness and implementing instruction that supports and cultivates the power within our students to be vehicles for societal change.
This is Cynthia from TAC. In the coming year, the aforementioned affinity groups are committed to strengthening our collaboration with fellow Black educators, families, and other community organizations to promote equity in our educational system. As a coalition, we recognize that our work must include helping our various communities in all their diversity to examine and reflect on racism and colorism within our communities.
This is Allison Martinez from LATA. On this day, the 14th of July, 2020, in addition to joining forces, we are here to say jointly in this public forum that we support all of the African American Parent Advisory Council's recommendations in their end of the year letter presented at the June 30th, 2020 Board of Education meeting and attached here today.
This is Tasi, Samoan coordinator. We also support the call from the African American Parent Advisory Council that though SFUSD is facing an unprecedented budget crisis, this is not the time to make cuts to any resources benefiting African American children, including African American Achievement and Leadership Initiative, which according to the superintendent's proposal, Ali will face a 38.6% cut. We second the PFCAC recommendation that says it is especially important that programs that explicitly prioritize the support of African American students and families be kept whole, if not further expanded. Programs that directly support African American students and families must be protected from cuts. Being bold about supporting our most vulnerable means being bold about making funding allocations too.
Jumping in place for Peggy Morrison. Together, the educator affinity groups will join forces to ensure that a high quality education is afforded to all of the 53,855 students that comprise the San Francisco Unified School District, especially students whose ethnic groups we represent. Attached to this statement, please find statements in support of Black liberation from our respective organizations. Thank you.
All right. Is there more?
Yes.
Yes.
One more.
Go ahead.
APAC, please.
On behalf of the African American Parent Advisory Council, this is Marisha Robinson, APAC leader. We want to say thank you to the educator affinity groups who have collaborated on this letter. And in order for us to truly eradicate anti-Blackness in SFUSD, we have to all be on one accord. Thank you for uplifting and echoing Black family voice. We are excited about this partnership and we're looking forward to educational justice for all of our students.
All right. Thank you, Virginia, for organizing this and for getting this information to me so we can hear this important message from you, the affinity groups, and Black leadership in our parent groups. Very impressive and moving. And also I want to thank as well, obviously, the many people who spoke in public comment regarding our fall plans as they're shaping up. And now we'll open up to the board for comments. As the public knows, this is not an action item. This is just an information item, although the public will have a better sense of where the board's leaning after this discussion.